Alright, in this video I wanted to talk about the Vampire Subrace and sort of show off a couple different play styles that you can use with it. I feel like the Werpire Subrace is the best overall Subrace when you compare the three, the Werewolf, Werpire, and Vampire. I personally put Soul Neko and Werpire as the top two, but Vampire does have a couple things going for it. It kind of forces you to really kind of utilize some things, but it's doable. Also, I'm going to show both of these methods not even using beast form. I think it's overrated. But the first thing I'm going to show off, let's see here. Let's see, just in case I don't go first. All right. So one of the things I wanted to showcase is Vampire has a plus 50 charisma toggle and a plus 50 int. So with the charisma help, you can actually utilize this in a beast master setup. And as you can see, I'm a lucky beast mage here. You have the 300 int and charisma here. And so what you want to be able to do is in this instance, so we're going to play dodge, but I'm going to showcase a specific setup. So obviously you want to use the Bun Barret Guest, and then a lot of people ask what is better, Pig Drake or Bun Barret on the pet. Bun Barret will give you a consistent amount of blocking, which will be higher, but Pig Drake will actually give you more rounds with the slightly lower blocking. And the value of that is when you start stacking certain amounts of other forms of boost. And I just realized I needed to swap one item out. So what I'm going to do real quick is locate eDoc, wherever that's at. Let's see. Hopefully I can come across it. There we go. Alright, so let's get back into the battle here. Hopefully I don't get blown up here. So which one has a secondary to wind? I don't remember. It's not that guy, right? Alright, we'll go with this. Alright, so you want to use Pig Drake because of what it's going to do to the total stack. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just play Dodge Lash here. Using these two misks here. But the first thing you want to do is the Imanok eDoc, which is costing MP, so that's kind of an advantage of the Lucky Beast Mage build. So you're going to get 3242. It has an out leveling formula, but because I have 300 intellect, it's actually boosting that by a little bit higher. So you start off with 32, and that's for 2 rounds. All right. The next thing you want to be able to do is you want to be able to do this plus 60 here. So now we've increased it to 2 rounds at 6242. And then you want the bag of mixed nuts. Now we're at 2 rounds of 7742. If you have other ways to increase it, I would do it, especially that's quick cast, but that's the starting point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get celerity. So this is actually eating a lot of SP. One of the arguments might be, wow, this is costing a ton of SP. Well, in a second, I'm going to show you that's actually going to cost even more. And for some reason, it's just not passing this. Here, let's just start over. I'm having bad luck. Alright, so let's start here. And again, we're just going to do these things. I don't mind losing all these hit points, and I'll explain why in a minute. Alright, so now we're back to 7742 defense boost for 2 rounds with a celerity turn. The celerity is going to help your pet and your guest immensely here. So I'm going to go ahead and just increase that. Alright, so what you want to be able to do on these 2 turns is you're actually going to you're going to do this mist form 2 times. This is a healing skill. So that's 490 SP per turn. So again, you're using a shit ton of SP up front. But in addition to the healing skill, it will do 3 rounds of 20 blocking per turn, and it will stack with your existing. So I just healed 451 hit points. So we were concerned about all this SP usage with Essence Orb because I was eating into my hit points. Well, now that's being resolved a little bit, and that's why I said it's okay. So now I have a defense boost of 2 rounds at 7162. And now it's 3 rounds. So as you can see, it's now building 102. So we have 3 rounds at 102, and now we have 2 rounds at 102. So I gave myself 3 rounds of 102 blocking while using Dodge Lash, Shield, and Misc. Okay? What you need to understand is that Pig Drake will continue to give me 2 rounds. So I'll have more than 2 rounds. It'll probably be more like 4 or maybe even 5. So what I'm going to do again, I'll increase my SP. I'm going to go back with bag of mixed nuts, walnuts again. So now I have 2 for 117.43. Go back here, and I'm just going to cast this 1 time. The SP that I gained, therefore I ate into my hit points, will pretty much be healed back. I will change my. So that's 3 rounds at 98. So now we're at 3 rounds of 115. Also, we are doing a 0.2 power bleed. Vampire will attempt to inflict bleed even if you don't attack. But what I'm going to do here, so now I've got a bleed weapon here. I'm just going to attack, and it's going to continue to inflict bleed. So I'll be healing 25% of bleed damage. So you toggle this guy on, and then it heals 25% of all bleeds. So hopefully I can increase this. I don't want to be in beast form. So it's going to block again. and I'm healing from the bleed. So now it says it's 1 round of 140. Watch what it does again. It's going to actually go to 2 rounds now of 95. So it's adding rounds. Pig Drake is what's doing it. It's adding rounds. So by setting that system up in the very first turn, it really turns into more like 5 turns, maybe 6. And you're able to heal yourself because you're using the Mist Form skill as well as healing from the bleeds that you're trying to inflict. So it's okay to eat your hit points by replenishing your SP on the front side because you're not going to be hit and you're going to be able to heal it back. As long as you're able to pull off the celerity, if you want to use shield cakes just to make sure you're not using the SP, just to save the SP on that side, then that's fine. Alright, so here I'm just gonna flee here. Actually, I'm probably gonna die here. That's fine. So wanted to do that one more time just to demonstrate exactly how I'm doing this. Again, you want to start with this guy. And then you're just going to have to stack your MRM buffs here. Get celerity. So again, I'm way low on hit points here. And again, that's completely fine because I'm going to do this. So I'll go from 1200 to almost 2000. So I get about 750 to 800 more hit points back. So of course I'm not hit. And I didn't even attack, and we have a 4.4 power bleed, which is pretty weak. So again, can eat it into that. If I wanted to do this again, I could. Last time I didn't do another celerity, but here I will. So now we're at 2 rounds of 117. And again, I'll just do this. So that time it was 600. I'll actually attack this time because I want to attempt my bleeds. So I'm up to a 1 power bleed almost. I'm going to dodge lash and 1 power bleed, so it's going to heal me. Again, Pig Drake. It says 1 round at 149. That's overkill, but Pig Drake will turn that into another round. Watch. So we've got 175 and now 2 rounds of 100. As you can see, do this again. 1 round of 100. Bun Bear at 126. Now Pig Drake 2 rounds of 75. You probably need about 85 or more to be absolutely sure you won't be hit. But again, you're trying to drive your MRM overall as high as possible, and that'll when Pig Drake continues to give you turns, it's going to lower your total MRM amount, but the total MRM will still stay above what's required. Another thing you can do, if you wanted to, is inflict maybe like a multi-turn blind, just as a safe bet. If you're going to, instead of doing the Mist Form, if you wanted just to do like Mandate or something, just to give you some extra cushion. But again, that's one way to play with Vampire using this stack with its given skills. Alright, so I'm going to move on to just bleed stacking. Demonstrate a little bit the healing part of it. But what I'm going to do here is just changed to bleeds. I've got Umbral Walkers, which will inflict basically a .333 bleed if you block at least one hit. I wish they did it per hit. That'd been cool, but it's not the case. Alright, so I have this pet here, but actually I believe it's going to cost some MP, but I think it's a stronger bleed if you actually use the Necromancer Twin Summoning Undead Beast. You're going to spend 105 MP, but it will be a stronger bleed. And if you wanted to, you could actually probably just do twin if you want to, because it will be a stronger bleed. The Vampire Subrace Bat Swarm has like the weak Elevon and plus the 12 blind or whatever. But so basically at this point I have nothing but bleed stacking, and then I'm going to use this misc here, which will add to the bleeds of any attacks and stuff. And then, so I want to show how fast bleed will stack. So I have 74th Law, which is the strongest bleed in a spell in the game. Does burn also. So that was already 0.75, and then we'll start to see. So after the first round, it was a 1.107 bleed. Maybe I wanted just to do this. So you're already going to be over 2 probably. So that was 800 bleed. Well, if you're healing 25%, you just healed 200. So you want to be able to, if you're going to utilize the heal, you really need to try and stack your bleeds as fast as possible. And you're going to eventually, probably you're going to be out healing your damage by turn 3. The damage against you. So we'll go again. So again, we're over a 1 bleed. So I would just do this again. Right at 1.8. So we're just increasing these bleeds. So I just healed 300 there. I have gotten this to over 4 power on the bleed. I'm going to actually switch this up. Now I'm going to try to dodge using Mandate, which will inflict bleed based on the shield here. So hopefully we can get some blinds going. 30 blind. Let's see if I can get a block here in a couple of turns. If I get an inflict here, I should be able to dodge. Most likely. So that just enhanced the bleed even more. So there's a 2 power bleed. Now if this monster had more hit points, you know, I would be probably doing like 2,000 bleed and healing 500 per turn. So again, if you're going to use the Vampire Subrace, you want to be able to stack bleeds. You don't want to use Beast Form if you're going to do this. I'll show you why real quick before I end this. So Beast Form will drink the blood, but it won't inflict. So that's one of the caveats of the Beast Form. I wish they left it, but you'll need to be in the regular form in order to continue to inflict the bleed. Try to get more favorable earth, and then choking him blind here. Block. So now up to, actually this monster, that's one of the bad things about the bleed, is the monster can shake it. Unfortunately, that's always a risk. So again, you're just healing back. And it just adds up and adds up. So anyway, there you have it. There's a bleed stacking strat as well as a dodging strat using the same armor. Yeah, Vampire Subrace is probably not as versatile and as good as Warpire, but that's a couple of different ways you could play with it. Especially not even with Beast Form, which is probably the most utilized form anyway, but there you have it.